Gord Sova is the editor of Canadian Labour Reporter, published by Canadian HR Reporter. He spoke with us about the employer-union relationship. What are some common challenges employers are facing with unions?
Well, I guess there are two things that I would want to mention. The first one is a challenge that is ongoing. It's been an issue for a number of years and a number of collective agreements in most cases, and that is the question of flexibility. It presents itself in different ways in different collective bargaining relationships. It may be things like how and where can you use skilled trades and the jurisdictional boundaries between skilled trades. It may be things like how do you schedule vacations, when can you change the shift schedule and increase or decrease the length of the shifts, things like that. That's an issue that has been ongoing. And of course, since the recession began, direct costs through wages as well as less direct costs through benefits have also become much more important.
What are some tips for getting along with unions?
Well, the first thing that helps in getting along with unions is not something that anyone really has any control over. The first thing that needs to happen is that the two sides become familiar with each other. Arbitrators refer to it as maturity, and it happens after a number of years. When a union is first certified, of course, the supervisors have probably never dealt with a union, the managers have probably never, nor have the people in HR. And the shop floor workers probably haven't dealt with a union either. So nobody really knows what they're doing or where they're going, except for the higher levels of the union, the representatives. So it takes a number of years for people to grow into that relationship and feel out their positions and clarify issues between themselves. So that's the first thing that you would need to look for is a maturity in the relationship. But you can help that along in a couple of ways. One is by creating institutions. A lot of collective agreements have committees, union management committees that deal with ongoing problems or developing problems in the workplace. They may meet monthly, they may meet quarterly, and through a forum like that, important issues can be hashed out and notice can be given to the union of things that are going to change in the company, and that helps. And finally, and especially for people in HR, just the contact with people on the floor. And I've talked to several HR people who make it a point once a week, twice a week, just to get out of the office, walk down onto the shop floor or whatever the workplace is, and just see people, say hello, see if they have any problems. Things like that will definitely help.
And what are some common mistakes to avoid when dealing with unions?
The first one, and this is going to sound cliche because you see it in all the union literature, is respect. Whenever a union is certified, the first thing that they say is that the employees wanted respect, they weren't getting it, and now they have a union. There are issues like differential treatment of employees, inconsistent treatment, things like that, that really annoy people. And they annoy those of us who are not in unions as well when we see them going on around us. That's important. A second thing that often seems to be a problem is the introduction of changes in policies without sufficient discussion with the union. There are arbitration rules that require you to have in order to have a valid policy, to discuss it with the union if it affects any of the terms of the collective agreement. So that's always a good thing to do. It may cause you problems right away, but it will probably forestall problems that would have happened later on had you not done that.